Welcome. I've just glossed my lips with Vivibalm. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. It's Vivibalm. Even when it's slightly off, it's still really good. Because I think it's quite old. What does it say on it? August 2023. And I'm still slathering it on. It's wonderful. There we are. Welcome to the show, everybody. Oh, I better just rub some of this into my fingers. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
Thank you, bloody thank you for tuning in to yet another
Scintillating episode.
Scintillating, fun episode.
On our sofa.
On our sofa, in the same
your
position,
living room, bedroom,
every week,
toilet,
week on
kitchen,
week.
Pantry, garden,
Yes.
whatever.
So we do try to provide a high quality programme for our
Don't
viewers.
succeed, but do try.
Thank you. So, we always kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report. So, Paul, what has the weather been like this week?
Well, it's been a little bit cooler. And we've had some really, really wet days.
It's going to be wet again tonight, apparently.
It's going to be wet.
Heavy rain throughout the night.
So slugs and snails will be out galore, which of course all of our gardeners absolutely adore.
Haven't you just put some new things in, Paul? Some
I
little
have
things
put
in the thing and the place where you
beetroot
go.
in, and I hope it won't be nibbled overnight like the butternut squash were last week. Yeah, I mean those butternut squash, they're not going to go on. They are completely gone. But hey ho, there we are. C'est la vie.
And you didn't do a little clickbait video for
I
that?
didn't do a clickbait. My butternut can't go on. No.
Maybe you should have done.
I should have done, yeah.
So weather, I mean, generally it has improved.
Well,
It has improved.
Well,
Come
no,
on.
we had a period of really, really warm, hot weather, and now that temperature has slipped a little bit, and it's got a bit wetter.
But it is sunny.
It is sunny. At
Very
the moment,
sunny.
it's sunny.
Glorious at the moment. Why are we indoors making videos?
Yeah. Well, it's for you, obviously.
For you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
What's the weather going to be next week?
Changeable.
Changeable.
And I don't know whether we mentioned it last week, but they are forecasting more aurora. That's apparently coming up within the next 2 weeks.
Really?
I think we mentioned it. Yeah.
I thought that was last weekend.
No.
Is there
it's
more?
coming up.
Oh, right.
That sunspot is coming back round.
Right, okay.
So
Fair enough.
that's something to look forward to, isn't it? Lovely. And of course, this weekend in the UK is bank holiday. So it's a long weekend and I've got Tuesday off.
Yeah, so it's a very long weekend. for
Very
you.
long weekend, thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. So what is this? Is it? It's not
This is late spring.
Late spring bank holiday.
Or is it early summer?
I
no,
don't
because
know.
it's not summer until June, is it?
Well, no, but that's like 2 days later, isn't it? Or like less than a week later.
Well, it's half term as well. The kids are going to be off.
Oh yeah, they will.
So lovely, Paul. Paul, do tell us all, how has your working week been?
It's been busy. And we've been doing a lot at For Earth's Sake, and the Great Green Barn. And I'm delighted to say that the first event that the Great Green Barn is having, which is on Saturday, the 1st of June, with Anne Reid and Stefan Bednardzik doing Cabaret Turned Out Nice Again, is sold out. So that's fantastic, absolutely fantastic news. So that's a lovely fundraising event with a Greek dinner.
Oh, it's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser that Anne Reid is doing for us and Stefan as well. So that's lovely.
I didn't realise. That's nice.
So it's sold out, which is great. So now we've got all the names of everybody. We're sitting people at tables and doing all of that. So yeah, that's quite exciting.
God, it's like organising a wedding, isn't it?
It is a bit, but maybe not quite so sort of stressful. Yeah. And then later in the month, we are having Midsummer Revels at the Great Green Barn and at For Her Sake, where Hook Eagle Morris are coming back to do a day of Morris dancing, or an afternoon of Morris dancing. And there'll be a maypole, and there'll be sort of like splatter rat things. And it's a family event day.
What?
Splatter rat, where rats pop up in the hole and you're trying to splat them and things.
Whack-a-mole?
Whack-a-mole, yeah. Splatter rat, we call it. Yeah. So so that's sort of quite exciting. That's on the 23rd of June.
I used to like whack-a-mole.
Tickets will be available relatively soon. So yeah, it's been busy. And the shop continues to do well. Saw more people coming back this week to do their regular shopping.
Oh, that's the Morris dancing thing. Sorry, I was just in my mind, I was thinking the Anne Reid Cabaret was having whack-a-mole. But then I realised you're talking about the Morris dancing
Yes,
event.
Midsummer Revels.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was
yeah.
just trying to make that work, but just wasn't kind of computing.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Brain often doesn't.
So-
yeah.
So, lovely. Lovely.
Is that it? Just lovely. Lovely.
I don't know, I'm feeling a bit, I don't know.
Spaced out?
No, not spaced out, just a bit, it's been a tough week this week,
It has,
to be absolutely honest with you.
Yeah.
And I know, and yeah, I think I at the moment I'm getting to the weekend and I'm using so much brain power during the week that I literally feel at the weekend like it's kind of all drained out from me.
Aww.
I know.
And can people find out why in your daily vlogs?
Find out why in my daily vlogs. If I get time to do it today. Because I haven't even done today's daily vlog.
Haven't you?
No,
Oh dear.
I haven't. I will do
dear.
shortly.
However,
Cram it all in.
my week at the plot, being the professional that I am,
Don't push it.
my 3 segments of a week at the plot are all together and ready to be uploaded for Monday evening.
Good.
So there we are.
Excellent. So in other news, in the UK, a general election has been called for the 4th of July. Hurrah.
Independence Day.
You know what? I said to you the other day when they announced it was also Millie's birthday.
Yeah,
Our little Millie's.
yeah.
And also the birthday of Vivi Gregory. And what Vivi did next in Vivi's kitchen garden. And Vivi Balm. Lip balm.
And bunting.
And bunting.
And lavender bags. Yeah, so much. And the shop. And the shop.
We've said that.
Have you?
Yeah, don't give her too much promotion. So lovely.
Oh dear.
So, election, 4th of July. What will this mean for the UK? We don't know. And I said to you the other day, this doesn't leave them much time.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the chief executive of our local authority has said. It's not really leaving us much time, and it's going to be all hands on deck to get this sorted.
Get it up and running.
Yeah, because I think what people forget is as soon as it's announced, the local authorities have to put the wheels in motion to get everything prepared for the elections, which will take place locally in local polling stations. So all the paperwork, all the voting stuff has to be prepared, the voting by post, preparations have to be made.
And that's tight because you've got really tight deadline.
It's very,
on that
very
voting.
tight for them to get that sorted. So
I mean, it's outrageous it's been called in such a snap way.
yes.
And of course, many of the Conservative MPs, they have no idea it was going to come so soon. They were hoping for an improvement in the UK over the next sort of like 2, 3, 4 months so that they'd be in a better position to run again. And I think that's why we're seeing them, jumping the sinking ship and not running again. Michael Gove, a number of them have just stood down over the last few days saying we're not going to run again, which of course is great because hopefully there won't be enough candidates for them to fill the 178 slots they need to fill around the country. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
So, yeah, that's something to look forward to, perhaps a new government
Well, let's hope so.
come July the 5th.
Yeah, whatever happens, there will be a new government anyway. But let's just hope that it's not Conservatives, and let's hope we just see the end of the Conservative Party forever. I mean, that would be joyous, absolutely joyous.
Wouldn't it just?
And for any of you who are Conservative supporters, I do feel sorry for you.
So, lovely. So, what's the date today?
The 25th of May.
It is, but actually it's the 26th. Because
26th of May when you see this.
Yeah, so let's find out what the word is.
Today.
Oh, God. What?
Yes. Okay,
I'll spell it first. It's Elingud.
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 Mm.
Elingud.
That E-L-I-N...
Elinged.
Let's have a look at it.
Elinguate.
E-L-I-N-G-U-E-D.
Elinged.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, we're going to find out right now.
Elim?
Ready? Shush now.
No, I have no idea.
If you are made speechless by something, you may say you are elinged. Elingued.
Elinged.
Literally deprived of a tongue. The earlier verb form elinguate was said to be a practice of the devil, and the later elinguation was used only to refer to the literal maiming act.
I knew that.
Usually as a punishment.
Yes, I knew that. I did know that.
Did you know that?
Oh, I know that.
Shush now, I'm continuing. La continue.
Something about 1586.
No.
No, there is something about 1586.
No,
and somebody who had
1623
their...
actually.
Oh no. No, it's definitely earlier than that.
Well, shush and I'll tell you. God, this is my section. But those of us fortunate enough not to be subject to elinguation might still often feel elinged. The word is first attested as used by the poet and essayist Owen Feltham. It's double L.
Feltham.
You have to take it into the gutter, Paul, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly. Paul, you've ruined my whole section now, and it's all about me. Not you. I can't. Shush now. The word is first attested as used by the poet and essayist Owen Feltham in 1623, when he wrote, "If it be by speech a man is to act his part, fear puts an ague in his tongue, and often leaves him quite elingued." This is from his book Resolves, Divine, Moral, Political, entered into the Stationer's Register on this day in 1623.
Bet that was a bestseller.
Unfortunately remains as true as ever it was. And I think we can learn a lot from that.
I think we can. Elinguation, I definitely remember that from something though.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
I thought 1586, there's something in my head about it, but that has to be wrong then. But it was somebody who was very important that had their tongue cut out as a
lovely.
as a penance. Yeah. It'll come back to me at some point.
That may happen again quite soon. So we come to the final segment of the show, which is called What Have We Watched on Television This Week?
Well,
I can't quite remember everything this week.
Well,
Because I've been asleep by 9:30 most nights, dribbling on the sofa.
9:30,
8:30.
8:30, I think. Yes.
I've been tired.
You have, yeah.
Really tired.
And you can find out why in his
In my
daily
daily
vlogs.
Watch them if you dare.
Yeah, but there's been a real sort of mix of things that we've watched this week. But one of the things that we've watched has been RHS Chelsea.
Bloody Chelsea. The thing that strikes me about Chelsea, and I looked at the price of the tickets.
Oh, how much are they?
You can only get discounted tickets if you're an RHS member.
Well, yeah.
And you book well in advance. Otherwise, you're paying upwards of something like 140 quid.
What, for a day?
Yeah.
A day?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
you need 5 to 7 hours to see everything. Who can spend 5 to 7 hours walking around a flower show? I certainly can't.
And of course there's tens of thousands of other people there as well.
So, and you know, the pictures of all the mature people mainly, who clearly got disposable income. Yes, like you. Obviously, I'm 39, so I wouldn't know anything about that. But it strikes me as a sort of really privileged sort of show now.
Well, it is. It's quite elitist.
But it was really interesting what Monty Don said about the judging. We were a bit taken aback, weren't
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Because he was talking about how rigid the judging is and how inflexible it is.
And how technical it is.
And how it should be changed. And him and Joe
Swift,
don't really like him, but they were discussing it on television on the BBC, and I think it's drawn a all comments.
Well, I'm sure it has.
I've seen
I mean,
a couple of
what
articles
Monty
about
was saying is that basically it's all now on the technical build, the technical look, and the emotional side, and how something may make you feel
Yes.
or want to feel
is
not really marked anymore. Therefore, a garden which is technically perfect from a number of different areas might not actually grab at the heart as much as something which is quite emotive.
but is considered faultless.
But is
as he
considered
said,
faultless,
and
absolutely.
therefore a winner.
And I guess this comes back to where, you know, perfection sits and that type of thing, and where all of our gardens, we were saying this several years ago about people having really ordinary gardens, and how a really ordinary garden can make you just feel happy and well, and, you know, in your own place, where something which is technically perfect may look excellent, but does it actually give you that emotion?
But also, more importantly, how in today's climate, financially, how could anybody even begin to think about replicating those looks? Because all of those gardens, apparently it costs to put on a garden at Chelsea.
£500,000 quid.
No, the minimum is 180,000 to put on a garden.
That must be a small one.
That's the minimum. £180,000. So how can the general public, viewing from afar on their televisions, even begin to think about replicating that?
Well, this is why they try and get away with it by saying,
It's
you know, you
inspirational.
can see this huge pathway that goes through, made of, you know, sandstone and diamonds, and you could do the same thing with a few slab stones and a bit of grass. I mean, you know, it just doesn't. It doesn't. There are none of the gardens I saw on TV this year, and I haven't watched it rigidly like I have previously.
No.
But none of the gardens that I saw this year, I thought, wow, I like that.
We did talk about this, didn't we, a while back?
Yeah, we did.
What were we saying? I can't quite remember. We were talking about, wouldn't it be great if there was a sort of ordinary garden?
Really
garden
ordinary
show,
gardens. Yeah.
You know, where you just literally look at people's ordinary gardens, you know, what people do, be it designed for a child to play in safely or for a view, a green wall like the garden we have, which is all designed to block out the other houses. They were talking a load of old codswallop
there's
about soundproofing your garden.
Yeah.
Using trees and bushes. You need a lot of trees to soundproof. We've got trees all the way around our garden. And believe you me, it doesn't do any good at soundproofing whatsoever.
No, they were literally saying that if you've got, a family next door and they're always in their garden and the children are sort of, making noise and kicking the ball, if you put a few ash trees in with some shrubs, it will make such a difference.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. We know this.
And I think this is, where is the truism of gardening? And we see this as well with allotmenteering videos
And YouTube videos.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's there's a lot of non-truism that goes on in gardening and growing, and I think we need to get back to what the essence of it is, which is about you, the soil, and the plants that you grow. And in all of the sort of emotive language that many of these people have used to describe these gardens at RHS Chelsea and other shows around the country, it's sort of like, what are you talking about? What you're saying is just utter rubbish. And if what you're saying is what the designer is telling you need to understand about the garden to appreciate, or it's something that you will perceive, and if you perceive it, then they've done the job right, very often doesn't work.
There is a lot of BS that is said about stuff like that. I mean, the language that one of the presenters was using as he was walking around, it was just words. They didn't actually fit the description of the garden. It was flowery words, and I just thought, no, this is so elitist now and very bizarre in a way. I mean, I know a lot of the gardens have got good intentions behind them, but I think very often they use those charities' names as a springboard, because actually people hope to get work, these companies hope to get work from their gardens being seen at Chelsea and being awarded a medal.
Yeah.
And very often you think, well, how much is that worth? And then you think, is the price paid for a landscape garden so high now that nobody could ever hope to have one?
Yeah. I think that...
So the whole chain of it feels weird nowadays with all this cost of living crisis that we're going through with the price of materials going through the roof. I mean, we've recently had the house decorated. I mean, when we were told how much the paint cost, it was a little bit eye-watering.
Yes. What was it? £110.
£110 per pot.
Per pot, yeah. I mean, that's expensive.
I mean, we did get the price down. We didn't pay that. We weren't going to pay that. We're not, we don't have money to burn. But it's the same in everything. The prices are so through the roof now. And it's so unrealistic. The whole thing is unrealistic. So one can't help as a viewer who is concerned about prices and what people can afford, one can't help feeling very separate to that world now. And whereas we used to lap it up in the old days. We can't wait to see what's going on. Oh, it's all a bit of fun. Now you know the reality of how much it all costs and why people are doing it. All for this, all for profit.
Well, it is. I mean, everything is for the economy and for profit now. But the good thing about those gardens, there is one good thing about them, and that's that most of them, if not all of them, they get deconstructed and then they go and they get installed somewhere else, so they will have a life beyond Chelsea. But that's still
Yeah,
a
but
big
are we
expense.
told where they are?
Yeah, we are. We are. You
Who
will be able
tells
to.
us?
I'm sure there's a website where
Is
you
that
can
in
go
your
to.
RHS magazine that arrived today? Paul, I didn't know you still subscribed to the RHS.
Neither did I actually, but clearly I am. The reason I'm subscribed to the RHS is because I'm part of the RHS fruit group, which I really do like.
The fruit group.
Yeah, and you can't be part of one if you're not part of the other. And I like my fruits, so yeah.
I'm partial to a fruit.
You are, yeah.
A juicy fruit.
Plumptious, that's a lovely word, plumptious.
So, come on, quick now.
What else have we watched?
Loot, we continue with Loot, love it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
So good. She's, I just love her.
Yeah.
Love her.
So that's good.
We continue with Pie in the Sky. There was a really good episode, wasn't there?
It was.
Because some of them have been a bit, you know.
I mean, it was quite a, quite a long-running series. You know, it ran for several series. So, yeah, there's always bound to be some looser ones. Yeah.
Okay. We watched something called Rebus.
Yes.
What was that?
We started Rebus, which is the Scottish detective. It's a new BBC series. It was so gritty within the first 2 or 3 minutes. I thought, no,
for my life.
I don't want this.
No.
I've said this before. I want to, when I'm watching something that is fiction, I want it to feel like fiction, and it felt a little bit too much like real life. And
for the same reason, we didn't watch Sharper any further than the first 10 minutes.
No, it was. We watched more than that. You fell asleep. That's on Apple. I thought it was going to be a really interesting film, but actually, no, we gave up on it.
I don't like films about people who are mean.
No, I don't like films
She
about
was
people who are mean if they're
She was
true.
mean and horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We don't know if there was a denouement of that
No,
film, obviously,
Because, no,
because we're not watching it.
but we could read the plot on Wikipedia.
Most probably,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Question time, of course, that was all filled with... Was it filled with?
Questions
Had they announced
and
the
time?
election that
Yes,
point? Yes,
of
they
course
had.
they had.
Yes.
It was. It
Just
was.
checking.
I think it was that day,
Yeah,
wasn't it? It
was.
was that day. Yeah. So it was that. That was good. That was good. And as per usual, the Tory MP really didn't have anything to say other than the party
usual.
line of we're going to stick to the plan. But of course, none of us actually know what the plan is.
Well, we kind
And
of
they
do.
sort of say, well, the thing is, Labour doesn't have a plan. But it's a bit difficult to say another person doesn't have a plan if you don't have a plan yourself.
The plan is stop the boats.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
Ooh.
honestly.
Send the planes
Stop
to
the
Rwanda.
billionaires stripping the UK of its assets and of the money of its people.
Yeah.
That's what we should. Stop profiteering and stop millions being taken abroad. Yeah.
Yeah, tits
And tax the
bums,
rich.
tits and
Tax the
bums.
rich. Oh, there's an election season coming up and it's going to be so exciting. Yay.
So, that's everything we've watched on television this week.
Where's everything you've watched? I've watched a little bit more, but
Now,
yeah.
while you've been watching, you may have heard a few sniggers and at one point a nose being blown. So you might have gathered that we have a studio audience here today in the form of, let me just swing the camera around.
And don't tweak it. Don't make it squeak, rather.
It's not going to squeak. So we have the lovely Vivi Gregory of What Vivi Did Next and Vivi's Kitchen Garden. And of course,
Vivi Balm.
Vivi
Balm by
Balm.
Vivi.
Balm by Vivi. So Vivi's with us for the
Bonjour.
weekend.
Ça va tout le monde?
Merci beaucoup.
No, carry on in the French, Richard.
So-
The weather this week has been changeant blanc.
Chanjon Blanc.
You know your word, the Elgin Lewid.
Linguid.
But I was thinking, of course, ling as in
Yeah,
tongue,
language.
linguistics.
Yes, yeah.
Lingua.
Lingua franca.
So was it illinguid?
Illinguid.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to pronounce these words, but
It's-
you will give me
it was
these
an awfully good
intellectual
present, wasn't it?
books.
It's
Filled.
stretching little Richard's mind.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Developing him. That's what we're doing.
Shutting
We're
me
just
down.
developing him.
Oh, my brain sometimes explodes with. Yeah, anyway. Blah, blah, blah.
With exploding
Is it
things.
time for food yet?
So-
More food.
We're going to go now and say goodbye.
Au revoir.
And say goodbye, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Bye from me behind the camera.
Bye, Richard.
And we'll see you again very soon.
Bye, Paul.
Bye, Vivi.
Bye,
Paul.
Vivi.
Bye, Richard.
Bye, everybody. We're
Bye,
going now.
Richard.
Bye, 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 bye,
Bananas,
bye.
tits and bums.
Bananas, tits and bombs. Absolutely.